A Lufthansa Airbus A321-200 aircraft en route to Seville, Spain, flew without a pilot for approximately 10 minutes after the first officer suffered a seizure shortly after the captain had temporarily left the cockpit for a break. We take a closer look at this incident for today's video. The incident took place on February 17, 2024, but we're only now learning about it with the release of a report from Spain's Civil Aviation Accident and Incident Investigation Commission. The Lufthansa Airbus A321-200, registered as Delta Alpha India Sierra Oscar, took off from Frankfurt as flight LH1140 to Sevilla Airport in Spain. While en route and flying over the Iberian Peninsula, 88 nautical miles northeast of Madrid-Barajas Airport, the co-pilot suddenly became incapacitated while alone in the cockpit. The plane was at cruising altitude and the captain had left the flight deck for a bathroom break. Prior to leaving for his break, the captain spoke with the first officer about weather conditions and the operation of the aircraft, and it was noted that the captain did not notice anything unusual in the first officer's behavior. The captain closed the cockpit door on his way out, and it was about 30 seconds later that the cockpit voice recorder picked up sounds of the co-pilot's sudden and severe incapacitation, a seizure. Not only was the first officer incapacitated, but the individual was also inadvertently operating switches during this time. According to the report, this included, but was not limited to, the disconnection of a spoiler elevation computer, or SEC, and accompanying fault warnings, a sudden increase in force on the right pedal and subsequent activation of the master warning, and a change in weather radar operating mode. The report notes that the autopilot and the automatic thrust system remained engaged. Action on the right pedal caused a 5-degree bank and a 2-degree heading change, which were compensated for by the autopilot. The report goes on to say that the captain attempted to enter the flight deck about 9 minutes later, following standard procedure 5 times, without success. After this, the captain used the emergency procedure to open the flight deck door, managing to enter the flight deck about 2 minutes after the first attempt. 1 Mile at a Time notes that before the emergency access code timer expired, the co-pilot opened the flight deck door manually from the inside. The co-pilot then received medical attention in the galley by a doctor who was traveling as a passenger on the plane and did not return to the flight deck for the remainder of the flight. After receiving the medical diagnosis, the captain decided to divert to the nearest airport, declaring a medical emergency and requesting ambulance service. The plane landed without further incident. An interview with investigators revealed that the co-pilot had lost consciousness and didn't remember when. Before that, he remembered flying over Zaragoza and then being treated by the cockpit crew and a doctor on the aircraft. The loss of consciousness was so sudden that he was unable to warn the other crew members of his incapacitation. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com.